So I think, Marc, you presented over 2 years ago about the start of the work on the Pixel European research project. So it's great that you're now returning to tell us about how it all went since then and what has happened. So great to have you with us today. Marc has been a solution architect and research engineer at Orange for the past 10 years, and he has been working on FIWARE for Orange for several years now, and uses FIWARE for various different research projects in both Europe and Africa. So would love to hear more about Pixel and what has happened since the last time you spoke. So stage is yours.
Thank you. So yes, I present you the Pixel project, I think 2 years ago, yeah. It was just after the first year, because the project started 3 years ago now and will end at the end of September. It's an European funded project with 16 partners with 4 ports. So we have the port of Bordeaux in France, Thessaloniki and Piraeus in Greece, and Monfalcone in Italy. And the idea of the project is to provide a way to the port to evaluate the environmental impact of their activity, and also to provide them a way to be able to compare what will be the change during the time, so from 1 year from another, to evaluate what will be the impact of some change in their organization or infrastructure. And one of the difficult parts also of the project is to provide a way to be able to compare 2 ports and to compare the environmental impact from 2 different ports. And this is really, really difficult, because when you don't work with port, you can think that port is a simple organization, but in fact, it's a really complex ecosystem. And two ports are really, really different, and it's really, really a nightmare to find a way to be able to compare two different ports, because they have completely different activity. So to organize the work, we work around 4 main use cases.
Marc, can I just ask?
That was the first screen. So you can saw the 4 ports. And so now we work on our 4 main use cases. The first one was pillar of the project was a port environmental index. So it's the creation of a composite index that try to illustrate, to show the environmental impact of the port based on air pollution, noise pollution, waste, the traffic of the vessels, the road traffic, and so on. But we also work on 3 other use cases. That is, one of them is the multimodal transport, because the port is only one step of the transport of the goods. We also have to transport, go after in other places using train or truck and so on. And for example, for the Monfalcone port, the different terminal is really far from the port, and the port activity has a really strong impact on the traffic on the full area. So we try to work with them to provide a solution to have a better solution for the management. For the Greek port, we have 2 ports that is really close in the area of the city. So we have really the 2 solution is really intriguing. And for the energy management, it's for Bordeaux. They try to use sustainable energy to have a better impact on the environment, and they want to find a way to evaluate how much energy they have to produce to be able to sustain the activity of the port. So one example of the work we do in Pixel is to illustrate what we do is the modelization of the air pollution dispersion. So to do that, we use several kinds of data sources. We have the AES beacon from the vessels that with the position. We have the vessel shuttle that is sent by the boat to announce what they will do with kind of cargo they have and when they want to arrive. and we can rely on the API on the internet to know from the vessel ID which kind of engines they use. And we have the weather provision also, and the air quality sensor. And we compute all of those information to run some kind of algorithm to show how the activity of the port will produce from air pollution and how this pollution will be dispersed in the atmosphere. And the idea is to show how much, what is the real impact from the sensor, what is the part of the pollution detected by the sensor that comes from the vessel activity, for example. To do so, we have built the Pixel platform. The Pixel platform is designed to collect data from different kinds of data sources and run the different model, predictive algorithms, and KPI calculation, and provide the dashboard to show the information. To build this platform, we use a lot of open source technology. So we have the information hub that is based on Elasticsearch that comes from another European project. We have operational tools that is a component to make the connection with different models we run on the platform and the information hub. We have the dashboard. And for the Pixel part of the project, we have the data acquisition layer that rely a lot on the FIWARE technology. It's based on the context blocker, and for each data source we have to connect to the port. We create some small NGSI agent that is designed to push the data inside the Pixel platform. We have developed a PyNGSI that is rely on open source from Orange now to facilitate the deployment of those NGSI agents. And the idea is, and we try to rely on smart data model provided by FIWARE, and we create some other one from us, because the idea is, even if all the ports manipulate the same kind of information, they all rely on different information systems, different data sources, and they have their own data model for each activity. And the idea here is to, using NGSI agent and standard data model, we were able to have only the data, the NGSI agent are, only the NGSI agent are specific to the port. All the other part of the infrastructure could be reusable for any port that can provide this kind of data source. And it's really, really useful because all the 4 ports could benefit on all the deployments that has been done from one port. Another example that is interesting for us to share. We have one model that is a port activity scenario. That the idea is to evaluate the energy consumption from all the activity of the port for the travel some goods from the vessel to the gate of the port. To do so, we have to modelize, to create a model that represents all the supply chain on the port with all the machines that is used to deploy to move some kind of goods. And one thing is, this thing is, so when we create Pixel project on FIWARE, based on FIWARE, we only can rely on NGSI v2 API. But now on FIWARE we have NGSI LD, so it's come too late for us. But to modelize all this thing is NGSI LD is really great, because when you try to modelize all the machines that is in the port, you try to create a digital twin of the port, in fact. And you have a graph of all the entities that represent all the machine involved. And it's really, that's one thing we'll try to do in the future, is to move all our models to the NGSI LD to show how our benefit could be for us. And that's it. Okay. And if you, so I try to do a bit fast, but if you want to have more information, you can go on the Pixel website. We have several webinars that is planned to explain a bit more the platform and the work we do in a few weeks. And one of them, the next one, I think it's about the architecture and the full deployment, and we'll speak a lot about FIWARE in it. So thank you.